Conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today we are going to start with website designing. Okay, so what is website designing? Can anyone unmute and you can answer me? So website is nothing but it's a collection of web pages that are connected to each other and which is sorted on a computer called as a server. So these pages can be seen anyone using internet. So through the website, like for example, if I say school website, shopping website, news website, personal blog. When you open a Google Chrome, type a website name, we are visiting that particular website page. Like website page can be used in different options like Google Chrome, Microsoft, Mozilla Firefox. So usually we type it as the www.google.com. So this will redirect to the website what we open. Okay, so suppose if I say I'm using Google Chrome, once if I click on it, so directly I can type the name of the website. For example, if I say Amazon. So once if I click on the Amazon, which will redirect to the website. So now where you can see HTTP. So which will go to that particular website and where we can browse it accordingly. So now we are going to discuss what is website and how the things works as per the digital marketing. Okay. So a website is a collection of web pages. Okay, web pages that are connected to each other and sorted on a computer, that is called as a server. Okay, so once we talk about it, where the pages can be seen by anyone using internet. Okay, so let's say that when we type a website name, for example, as a Google Chrome, or else I can use it as the Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so the website opens on your screen. Okay, so let's say that what we are going to type it as www.google.com. So once if I click on it, it will redirect to that particular website. So what can website contain? So what all it includes in website? So what can a website contain? So can anyone tell me what all it includes? You can unmute yourself and you can tell me, or else you can drop me a message also. So what all the website contains, what all the informations we can type it over there. Like for example, what we say as a text. Text is nothing but it will be relevant to the stories, or I can give some news, or it might be some information. Okay, so which includes with images. Sometimes we do have audio, then we have forms, plus we'll be having shopping pages also. So all these things together make a website useful and interesting. Okay, so once we talk about a website, where we'll be having a complete package of containing all this option. So let's say that if I say I'm going to the Amazon, so where you can see all the options like player, sell, bestseller, today's deal, mobile, computer service. If I scroll it down, where you can see we have an image followed by the content. So it is clickable. So it will redirect to that particular option. So this is how the website will be created. So if I talk about the examples, so examples of websites. So websites where we have a type and then example. So let's say that first one we are going to discuss with the type followed by the examples. Okay. So let's say that first thing we have the option called as search. So I'm searching on a Google. Then if I say I have an option called as shopping. So what website we will use? For example, Amazon, Flipkart. So whatever the known this thing, we'll be using the shopping option here. So Amazon. So next one, if I talk about the, I want to use, I want to see some videos. So what we prefer as the YouTube channel. Suppose if I say I wanted to watch news, so we say BBC. Suppose if I say I have to visit any school or a colleges, so where we can say as the school website. So this is how we are going to recognize on the website. Okay, so why do we need website? Can anyone tell me why do we need a website? So if I say why do we need a website? So let's say that first thing, if I talk about the website where we can learn new things. Okay, so where I can buy and then I can sell my products. Okay, so where we can even send some messages. So sending some message relevant to the queries what we have, or else I can share my information. Then we can even do play with the games. So then I can attend the online classes. So that's how the website will be helpful for us to know more about the products what we are looking for. So suppose if I say I'm going for any where I want to see some learn, so I'll say learn new things. Once if I click, where if I scroll it down, where you can see there is a learn something new every day, better up. So there's an all, it's a website. Plus I do have a videos also. So once if I scroll it down, where you can see there is relevant to it. Wikipedia also we have it. Suppose if I go back, so if I say learn something every day. So once if I click on it, where it redirects to that particular website, plus they do have the Play Store and the Apple also. So once if I scroll it down, where you can see what can you learn with. So this is relevant to the website which is redirecting on the daily basis. So suppose if I want to know why people do like on a spicy foods, if I click on it, where it will redirect to that particular website. So we have some content, we have more information on that. Plus, I can even improve on giving more information to the customer so that I can reach it on so and so. Okay, so these are the things which will help on the daily basis. So let's assume that we are in a college. So I have a classroom. So classroom, if I talk about, I have to create a web page. Suppose if I have a college building, then I have a trainer or a faculty. So I have a number of students who has visited. So what I do is college building and the pages inside me are classroom. So I'm going to define something in my website. Suppose if I say MCC College. So once if I click on it, we have a website. So relevant to that, I have a ratings plus what is the informations I have. Suppose if I go to the a website where I'll be seeing the website where you can see in the left hand side. See, now automatically it is popping up Mount Caramel College admission open. So once if I click on this, it will redirect to the application prospect. So once if I scroll it down, where you can see there are different links. So staff, gallery, skill development. So what you're looking for. Plus where I can see all the informations in one place. So once if I scroll it, where we have a career, so we have a newsletters. So once if I go back here, see all the informations are available. Okay. So once if I click on the annual report, so 24 to 25. So once if I click on it, it is converting at the PDF. So like this, we are going to create a website in such a way where we will be creating. So website is a group of web pages on internet that gives us the information, pictures, video, and then we are giving a service. So like this, where we can create it. Is that clear, guys? Say yes if it is understood. Okay. Okay, so this is the what we call it as the a website. Okay, so next we are going to discuss with website designing. So how the designing process will happen, what it does, how we are going to develop. So what all it includes, those things we are going to discuss now. Okay, so is that clear with this? So next we are going to start with what is website designing. Okay, so website designing, what all it includes. So let's say that website designing means which is creating, building a maintaining a website so that people can easily access on internet, easy to use, fast to load, safe to visit, work properly on mobile as well as with the computer. So in the last sections and all, we have created with email chip, then with the different browsings and all. So how to view in the mobile as well as in the website. So dimensions, the width, everything will differ. So in such case, we are going to create in a proper manner to develop the website. Okay, so let's say that if I talk about the website designing, so website designing means it creating, building and maintaining a website so that people can use it easily. Okay, so easily on the internet. So first thing, what we have to understand, how to make use of creating and maintaining a website. Okay, so once if I talk about it, it's not just about making a site which is looks beautiful. It also about making it. So what is the process? How we are going to make that? So that also matters over here. So first thing, easy to use. So then fast to load. Then safe to visit. Then which works properly on, it can be on mobile and it can be on computer. Okay, so when someone designs a website, they make sure everything works smoothly for the user. So this and all, it is important what we should be knowing about it. Okay, so website designing also, which has some main steps, like for example, what is website, for what purpose we are using it, who will use that, what are the pages are needed. So as I told you, if it is a college, then I have to think about the college environment and number of students, what they're going to visit, so which is the top colleges where we have to give our best. All the information has to be given over here. So once if I click on the menu, where you can see our home page, about us, academies, and all, we have it over here. So first thing it comes to our mind with the infrastructure. If I click on that, where you can see all these options are available, like library, auditorium, sports. So once if I click on the library, where I'm getting the information, plus once if I scroll it down, if I'm going to click on this, so it is redirecting to that particular website. So first thing what we are supposed to do when you're going to design a website, what all it includes. So that one we have to keep it in the mind. So we can say included in site designing. So what is required? So first thing we have to plan. So planning is very important. Okay. So once we plan, so first the designer will think for what purpose we are using it. So for which particular relevant to the website we are going to make use of it. So first thing, let's say what is the website. So what is a website for? So what purpose we are going to use it, whether it's for a school or it's for college, or if I'm going to run some shop, or if I'm going to use some blog, etc. So we have to think about it. So next one, who will use it? Okay, so who will use it? For example, whether it is in the point of view of students, or in the point of view of customers, or it might be the teachers. Okay, then what is important, what pages are needed. So let's say first thing I need to know about home page, then about, plus where the people has to contact me, etc. So these are the main things where you have to be knowing about it. So as I told you, once if I click on any particular page, if I scroll it down, so first thing it comes to the mind as the home page. So let's say that traveling website. So make my trip, yatra. So like this, we have a different variation. So if I click on the make my trip, where you can see first thing they're asking us for the personal account details. So where I'm getting a chat box. So I can even close these options. Now, if I come back, where you can see many options where we have in like a tab wise, flight, hotels, everything. So once if I click on it, if I scroll it down, where you can see there is a offers. Okay, so this is one way of looking into it. Next one, if I say shopping website. So now Mintra, so all this we have it. So we'll go with that. So now first thing you can see men, women, kids. So it has been recognized. So suppose if I say if I'm using a college website, if I click on it where we have the options, as well as if I scroll it down where you can see a student life, contact us. So about us is what relevant to the colleges. So if I want to contact, how to use it, those options and all you should decide. Okay, so next option is what we have to design. So designing the layout, that is important here. So designing the layout. So designing the layout, what all it includes, for example, where the logo will be, where the menu will be, so how the page has to look, what color you want, and how the font you're going to use it. So just like decorating a classroom, or we decorate a website. So now if I say I'm going to NICT website. So now once if I click on the NICT, where you can see Home tab, About Us, Courses, Contact Us. So NICT logo is here. So once if I scroll it down, there is an image. Again, if I scroll it down, where you can see there is a pop-up which is popping up with the WhatsApp. So directly I can contact on the WhatsApp. So designing layout also matters over here. So designing layout, what all it includes. So let's say where the logo will be. So that is first thing. Okay. So if I say where the menu will be. Next one, how the page will look. Okay. What colors and fonts to use, that is also important. Okay, so this is the things what we have to use it. So next is what it's all about, adding the content. So adding the content at what, like how to place the information, where to add the pictures, the videos, or the button is nothing but it's clickable, it will redirect to that particular website, plus the forms. So suppose if I say, if I'm going over here, so we have a credential here, login, student, a faculty, new, old, admission login, venue booking, fee portal. So like this, each and every options what we have. And so we have to plan accordingly where and how the things will happen. So username and the password. So once if I give my access, then only it will redirect to that particular. Okay. So adding content, that also matters over here. So next one is the adding content. So adding content, what all it includes. So let's say first thing I need to know about the text, then pictures, okay, plus the videos or the buttons or creating a forms. Forms is nothing but you might have seen. So this is a kind of a form what we are going to add it. Okay, so a school website may have school name. Suppose if I say student photos will be there, admission details will be there. So as I told you, that information should be given. So let's say that if I say example, if I want to create a college website. So college website, what happens? First thing, the college name will be there, plus student photos will be included, plus what else will be having, admission details. So this and all, it will be added in our content. So is that clear with this? So you understood what is website designing. It's a nothing but it's a web page. What we are going to use it on the Google Chrome, the Microsoft or Firefox. So once if I talk about the example, where and how we are going to utilize the websites, why do we need websites, and what is website designing included in the website designs. Okay. So next, how it works. So how it works is nothing but the page should open correctly, form should submit properly. So I hope you guys, everyone has created the forms who has been submitted. So once if I click on that form, I have to receive through the mail, so that I'll be having a clear information who has visited my website. So that it's nothing but when you click submit on a form, it should actually send the data. So everything we have to check once. So in that cases, making it work. So what does, so it's a technical part what we call it as. So this is the technical part. So technical part, what all it includes. Let's say first thing, it's all about the buttons should work. Okay, So pages should open correctly. Okay, so then it comes about the forms should submit. Okay, so form should submit properly. Okay, so when you click on the submit on the form, it should actually send the data. So now let's say that again I'm giving my information here. So I'm adding some number here. So I'm giving the details, I'm looking in download, just submit it. So this information where will be getting to our website. So once if I receive it, it says that you can see your inquiry has been submitted successfully. We have received your inquiry. Our team will contact within 24 hours. So I'll be getting the notification to my website mail so that it is easy for me to implement on the person to give more information. So in that cases, this and all, it is important to make sure that once they send the data, that should be updated in our source file. Okay, so now making it secure and fast. So where you're going to protect the data. So let's say that I've given my personal information, that is a name followed by the email ID as well as with my mobile number. So that should be in a safer side, so that what protects your data loads quickly, does not show the error. So this also makes an important point over here. So let's say next one is what, let's say making it secure and fast. So making it secure and fast. So what all it is required. So for the a good website. So if you're going to develop a website, what is the things it is being needed. So first thing, protects user data. So protects user data. So which loads quickly. Okay, so then does not show errors. Okay, so slow and unsafe website are not liked by user. So that is a point where you should know. Slow and unsafe websites are not liked by users. Okay, so this and all, it is an important thing where we have to be aware of it. Okay, so website designing, three important things are there. First one is the creativity, then technical skill is important, plus how we are going to plan. So website designing has to fix this. So once they fix on it, it is easy and simple to develop the website. Okay, so once if I talk about the website designing, so website designing, where we have three important things. So, so there's three very important things which will work on website designing. Website designing is a mix of skill. So what all the skill it is required. So first one is the skill and followed by the meaning. Okay. So what all it is required. So first one, where we talk about the creativity. So creativity, what all it is required, making the website look beautiful. That is the first point. Okay. Next one is the technical technical skills are required. So what is technical skills? Making the website work correctly. Okay, next one is the planning. So how we are going to plan. So planning will deciding what to show and how it works. So these are the main things where we have to know. Okay. So is that clear till here about the website? Say yes if it is understood. Say yes if it is understood, so that I'll just you need to take a note on that, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So I can just give you a small example. So if I say making a website is like building a house. Okay, so how we are going to plan and how that works. So in that, how we are going to implement on the website. Okay, so let's assume we have a house plus we have a website. Okay, so first thing we plan of house. So what we say as website planning over here. Okay, so once if I say I need to paint and then I have to design, so here we are going to say websites or layout. Okay, so next if I talk about furniture, so furniture is nothing but here it's all about the website content. Okay, suppose if I say I'm gonna have some electricity and plumbing work, so that is nothing but website functions. Okay, so if I talk about the logs and security, so it's all about the website security. So website safety where we can see. Okay, so this is a simple example where you can able to understand on the concept how the website is going to work on us. Okay, so I hope you understood till here. So these are the things where we have to keep it for the website designing and how to utilize on the future what we are going to design it. Okay. So next we are going to decide about the domain name. So that is nothing but in other word we call it as DNS. So which will address the website and how to go to that particular website. Suppose if I say if I want to know about your house address, so something like that. So whether it's for the commercial purpose, for India, or it's for the organization, either it's for education, so you need to know about it. So usually you might have seen for a college and all, it will be relevant to the education edu. For amazon.in we have, if it is foreign countrymen will be having us. So like this you'll be having an option called as India. Sometimes you might have seen as com, it's for the commercial purpose. So like this you need to understand and how we are going to design the website. Okay, so for example if I say if I come back to the www.com, so it's a commercial purpose. Okay, suppose if I say Amazon, so once we click on the Amazon where you can see in India. Okay, so now again if I say Amazon US, once if I click, so once we scroll it down where you can see com, it's for the commercial purpose. So now here you can see USA. So like this it will define on the domain what we are going to choose. Okay, so next we are going to understand what is DNS. So DNS is nothing but domain naming system. Okay, so once we talk about what is a domain, so if I say domain name is the address. So what we say as a address a website. Okay, so it tells the internet where to find a website. Okay, so the first thing, the domain name, followed by the address of the website, and then it says where to find the website. Okay, so let's say that I can give you an example. If I say your house, so if I say your house as an address, okay, so same way a website has a domain, so that we call it as a domain name. So without that, our website will not work. Okay, we cannot open any website, so which is a mandatory. So for example of domain names. So I can give you some popular domain names. So I can say www.google.com. So this which indicates for the Google page. Suppose if I say www.amazon.in, so which indicates to reach the Amazon website. Suppose if I say www.youtube.com, it is for the commercial purpose. Okay, so when we type this name in a web browser, the website opens. So that is how we are going to search on the domain. So once if I talk about this DSN, which works like a phone book in your internet. So what the people will remember names like google.com, but in the computer it is understood through the IP address. So if I give IP address, then only it will reach. So how this prospect will work. So that one we are going to discuss now. So if I say what is DNS, so DNS is nothing but domain name system. Okay, so domain system. So DNS works like a phone book of the internet. Okay, so now how you will identify? So people will remember names. So how you remember the names? Usually we say google.com. Okay, but if it is a computer, so how computer will understand? So computer will understand only through the numbers called as IP address. So usually we say just tell your IP address. Okay, so for example, IP address will be 142, for example 250. So I'm just giving you some random example. So something like this it will be there. Okay, so DNS, how the prospect will change. So DNS changes, how it happens. So that will be through google.com. So through that, which will indicate as the IP address. So from there, which indicates with Google websites. Okay, so DNS will help your computer find the correct website. So this is how it happens in the domain name system. Okay, so parts of domain names. So if I say www, if I say Amazon, so what it means? So we need to understand the parts of the domain names. So next one is what? It's all about the parts of a domain name. So example, if I say www.amazon.in, so it has been divided into two slots. One is the part followed by the meaning. So first one It's a part and the meaning. Suppose if I say we have www. So www is nothing but we call it as the website. So once if I say as the Amazon. So Amazon is what? It's a website name. So dot in is nothing but it is called as the country. So which country? So it is India. So this is how we are going to identify the website. So government website, official website, it will name in such a way. Okay. So another website is what? Like for example, www.google.com means Google is a website name. .com is a type of website. What type of website we are using? Okay. So in this, you need to understand the extension. So if it is a government website, suppose if I say BBMP. So BBMP and all, it's a government website. You can see here, gov.in. It's a government website. Okay. So if I type some organization website. So once if I come down over here, so here you can see World Health Organization. So this is another website. Education, as I showed you, your college website will be there. So if I'm working for Indian based, so like that, where they will design the domain. Okay, so where we have to know about the common domain extension. So common domain extension, that is important here. So what all it like? What is the extension? How the things will work? So first one is we have extension and then meaning. Okay. So suppose if I see COM, it's for commercial purpose. So commercial means for the business websites. Okay. Next one is IN. IN is nothing but for the India. So next one is ORG. So ORG, where we say for the organization. So next we have EDU. So EDU stands for education purpose. Then GOV. So that is for the government. Okay, so if I say if it is colleges means we do use it with EDU. It is Indian website means we use it for the IN. If it is for the company, we'll be using for the COM. It's for the commercial purpose. So once if I talk about the domain, why it is very important for us is to make the website easy to remember, helps the user to find your website, which will identify. Okay, is that clear with this? Say yes if it is understood.
This conference will now be recorded.
So next we are going to discuss with the hosting. Okay, so here, so what is hosting? So hosting is a place where website files are stored. So let's assume that if your house address is the land where your house is built. So without hosting, website cannot go live. Okay. So in that cases, so web hosting is a place where all website files are stored. Okay. So web hosting is the place where all websites files are stored. Okay, so we need to understand what is web hosting and how the things will happen once if I'm using the hosting option. Okay, so this This files includes what all it includes in the web hosting. So first thing, the text. First thing will be the text plus images, then videos, plus we have buttons, plus we have web pages. So all these are kept on a special powerful computer called as a server, which is connected to the internet 24 bar 7. Okay, so if I say as a example you to understand, let's say there is a domain, so which is equal to the house address. Okay, so once if I talk about the hosting, so which will be equal to the land, so land where the houses is built. Okay, so your website lives on a hosting server and the domain names tell people where the website is located. So without the hosting your website has no place to stay. Okay, so what happens when you type a website name? So it goes to the DNS, which will find through the Google server. Hosting server will send the website file, your screen will show to the Google website. So if I say many website will be running on server, one server will be shared on few server, so dedicated hosting will be there, cloud hosting will be there. So small websites use the shared hosting, big websites like Amazon and all, they'll be using the cloud. So it's very powerful. Okay, so why is hosting is important? It's a website always online which loads fast. So website is the data is a safe and visitors can open anytime. So without hosting no one can visit your website. So suppose if I say BBC. So BBC, if I click on it, where you can see it is a commercial based. If I click on it, anytime, anywhere, either in the mobile or it might be in the PC or a desktop where I can access it. So now where you can see it says that watch live. So again, if I scroll it down, where we have a home page. So news, the sports, businesses. So once if I scroll it down, relevant to that, where we have more information in the left hand side, where you can see there is a home, news, business, whatever you're looking for. Okay, so website will load fast. This will be in a data safe. Visitors can open anytime. So once if I click on the live news will be recorded. So now where you can see bbc.com watch live news, because I am in the live page. That's the reason it is showing and it is giving the information over there. Okay. So here what you should understand. So your website lives on the hosting server. So your website lives on the hosting server and the domain name tells people where that website is located. So this is the main thing. Okay, so DNS will find the Google server and it goes to the hosting server and the things will happen. So in this we need to understand types of hosting. So in that we have a different types of hosting over here. Okay, so let's say, so first type is, and the meaning is, so first one is we have a shared hosting. So what is shared hosting? Many websites on one server. Okay, so next one is the VPS. So VPS hosting, so one server shared with few sites. Okay, so one more we have, it is called as the dedicated hosting. So dedicated hosting, what it does, so one full server for one website. Okay, so we have one more option called as the cloud hosting, so where the website sorted on many servers. So that is the difference where you need to understand. So small websites use the shared hosting. If it is a big website like Amazon and all, they go for the cloud based. Is that clear? So that's all about the hosting concept. So I hope you understood. Do you have any doubts?